Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Is This a Ghost? I'm Clayton Smith, and every week I tell a real ghost story from real history to my real friend, Patrick Dean, who does not take it real seriously.
But who does? Bound
There
and
it is.
flit.
I wonder if that's going to make it into the cut. Otherwise, people are going to be so confused. Also, again,
it won't be the last time. It won't be
more
the
flit
last
than
time.
bound. Patrick, where have you been flitting off to these days?
Oh man, I've been flitting all over the place. I've been
Flitting all flit-wise.
yeah. Where have I been going? We did Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Here in the
We
U.S.
did?
We did Thanksgiving.
It's true. How was yours?
It was good. I ate a bunch of food. We had to cook a bunch of food. Amy and I cooked a bunch of food, and then we ate a bunch of food, and then we went somewhere else, made more food there, and then it snowed like half a foot, and so the kids kind
I saw you got a
of
lot of snow.
yeah. Then the kids rolled around like a goose to sloop in the snow for a little while with their little distended bellies, and that brings you up to today.
First, I thought you said like a goose to sloop.
A goose to
When
sloop.
I was thinking, I was like,
yeah.
what's a goose to sloop? What does a sloop mean? And how does that refer to a goose? But I'm on board now.
Okay.
I'm on
Yeah.
board.
One beer ago, there were fewer S's in that word. One beer ago, but
I got your Christmas card in the mail, your family's Christmas card, which I quite enjoyed.
interesting. Amy asked if she should send you one, and I didn't give her a good answer, so I guess she did.
Huh. That's brave of her. Brave choice. Aaron asked if I wanted to hold on to it to reference it during the podcast, and I said I don't think we should call specifics out. I don't think Amy's gonna like that. So we did throw it away, but I
Good.
did while it was in my hot little hands. I did like it.
Wonderful.
did like it.
Did you win the matching game?
Well, it's hard because there was no answer key.
Right. Yeah. So that's the thing. Next year we'll send you the answer key upside down with next year's letter. Then you can
Aaron?
go back and check it.
Aaron, grab that letter out of the trash. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I got it right now.
Okay.
How old is Amy really? I got a lot of mixed messages in that.
I'm
in
not
that
allowed
letter.
to say, even in the letter. I'm not allowed to say. So
Okay, so it's the older one. She doesn't listen to this show, right? We've established that. That's canon. Well, I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. We had a good one. We had a Friendsgiving here in Virginia. It was very
Oh,
nice. It was
nice.
very nice.
Very collegey. Very collegey.
was-
Friendsgiving.
Well, I work at a college.
Well, there you go. You
And
fit
most
in.
people there also work at a college.
Yeah. Did you invite college students over to your Friendsgiving? Is that
Yeah,
how it
they were the
works?
entertainment.
Ah, lovely.
Each of them got a meat tenderizer, and we said, all right, last one standing, you get an A. And that took up, surprisingly, 90 minutes.
We're going to play a game called Setting the Curve.
It was a lot of fun, and they did a great job. And I will miss most of them dearly. But it was good. What else? What else is going on? This will just be cut, I guess, because I do feel like there's something else.
I mean, you have apparently beaten all of the decks on Balatro.
Well, I was going to
So-
save this for our side podcast about Balatro, but yeah, well, I've beaten all the decks that you need to beat in order to achieve a special deck.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
And I beat red stakes. I've not yet beaten green stakes. That's tough.
What's green stakes?
Green
What's green
stakes means the ante goes up much higher, much more quickly.
Oh, I don't want to do that. No, I
Nope,
don't.
it's not
no,
fun. It's not fun.
Not
But,
interested.
no, got to do it though. Got to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So that's a cross that I'm bearing right now. Much like Jesus, whose birth we will soon be celebrating. This is my cross to bear. Thank you for asking. How's your Balatro playing going?
I'm in about the same spot as you. I'm starting to do the dig deep, take it into Reddit. You know, to go through Reddit to find the best strats.
There's
and
some good
unlocks.
walkthroughs.
There really are.
Yep. In related news, I have been let go from my job, but I think it's going to be worth it.
In Balatro terms, couldn't have been better news, really.
Yeah,
That's-
I mean,
'cause the
my
money is
Balatro
spent.
score has skyrocketed. Exactly. That's an investment that we don't have to. That's not in the books anymore.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Mhm.
That depreciated a long time ago. So I think we're all set here at Smith House, Balatro wise.
Mhm.
Not anything else wise.
Right,
But
yeah.
Balatro wise, we're in a good place. Gosh, I have a couple announcements before we get to our episode.
Okay.
sort of thing.
Announcements
First
to me
one,
or to other people?
kind of probably both, to be
Okay.
honest. I've sent you the emails, but I don't think you checked the company.
Yeah, I don't.
email.
Yeah, and I have the group text on mute because there was just a lot of stuff coming through, and
It's just me.
yeah.
It's hurtful to hear. Um, you may or may not know, everybody, and by that I mean Patrick, that we're doing a special live New Year's Eve show this year,
Oh,
where it's surprise. I checked with Amy. Your calendar is clear.
oh, thank goodness.
So we will be doing our normal live Zoom recording on Monday, December 30th. But if you're a Ghost Plus member, you can join us on that Zoom, and you can sit in and chat with all your other Ghost Plus friends while we do our dumb thing, and then we do a big group chat at the end. It's really fun. We've done it a few times, and this one is going to be a New Year's Eve themed story.
Mm.
You don't want to hear it a week later, because then it's not going to mean anything to you.
Yeah.
You want to hear it the day before New Year's Eve. It's going to really pack the punch. So join Ghost Plus. Oh, and if you're looking for another reason to join Ghost Plus, aside from the special New Year's Eve show, and aside from the fact that you can do a 7-day free trial just to see if you like it, our unpaid interns messaged me the other day, and they are secretly working on an intern-only episode to be released to Ghost Plus.
Oh, I'm very excited about this.
I know zero other details about this episode, and Jen has access to the platform we use to publish this, so I think it's not impossible. They might just do it all and then publish it, and then one day you and I will wake up and there will be a surprise episode that I have no idea what it's going to be.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You feel good about that?
I feel great about it because it's going to replace our episode for the week, right?
Oh, that's a great idea.
See? You see?
Yeah. We'll see how good it is. Yeah. It's not impossible. And that's what we'll do. If it replaces our episode for the next week, so we don't have to record, then I'll email the interns and I'll be like, "Hey, everybody, great news! You're going primetime." And to them, it'll be like a promotion.
Exactly. You guys are going to the show.
Yeah. Boy, good luck, everybody. We're sitting this one out. You've got control, and then you and I go to Aruba.
Just keep cashing checks till about August, and when they figure out what's going on.
We're already knee deep in Balatro. It comes full circle. And it all works out. So go check out Ghost Plus. It's going to be really fun. Got some other fun stuff coming up in the new year. So go check it out. And I should also let you know that we are sponsored this week by Smart Labels.
Really?
We are.
Gosh.
It's the Christmas gift to us that keeps on giving is their tolerance. And
as inexplicable as a red-suited man falling down your chimney. They're back, baby.
They are. And it is the most wonderful time of the year, specifically for Smart Labels, because I thought we started off this Christmas season with too many decorations. It's a ski slope that goes up from here on. We've just bought every day is a new opportunity for my children to beg very sweetly for something new they don't have yet that they will instantly become uninterested in. And so when this Christmas season is over, I fear our apartment will have transformed into a new sort of land, much like Christmas Town from Nightmare Before Christmas.
So it sounds to me like, for any parents out there shopping for Smart Labels, do not tell your children that you are buying Smart Labels, because they are going to use that as a crutch. They're going to say, "Oh, we should probably get this random pile of crap here, because we can just put a Smart Label on it. We'll always know where it is. It's not like it's junk anymore."
Yeah. No, I would definitely not explain to them how Smart Labels work.
Right.
That is for sure. And
because I'm not entirely sure how they work either.
Well, then you're going to want to not listen to this when I tell you that Smart Labels are QR-coded, color-coded stickers that you can buy on Amazon, or you can buy, of course, at the Smart Labels website. They come to your door, and you take them, you peel them off, and you stick them on a box that you want to be able to find next year. You scan them with the Smart Labels app, and then the screen comes up, and you say, okay, in this label, this box that has this label, these are our ornaments, these are our stockings, this is our fake Christmas tree, and you type that all in there, and you take a picture of it. You can put the box in your attic. You take a picture of the box in the attic spot where it is. When you need to find it next year, you just open the app, you type in tree or ornaments or stocking, and it'll show you the exact entry that you just put in. It'll show you pictures of where your box is. You'll know exactly where to go when your kids say, "We have to let Mrs. Blitzen out of the box because she's dying in there." You will know exactly where to go to find Mrs. Blitzen, which is what my children have named our Rudolph blow up that sits outside our place now. Well, to be fair, Maple has named her Mrs. Blitzen. Ivy has named her Pinkie Pie the baby.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So
it's a little bit of kind of a Chinatown feel there.
a little bit. Erin tried to make peace by suggesting that perhaps her full Christian name was Mrs. Pinkie Pie the baby Blitzen, and that did not go over well.
No compromising there.
No compromising there. So we're going to have 2 of them soon, I am sure. And when we do, we will be able to keep both of them straight. And we'll say this one is Mrs. Pinkie Pie, the baby, and this one is Mrs. Blitzen. We'll be able to do that with the help of smart labels. So, God, can't wait for that conversation to be something that becomes very important very soon in my life. But the point here is the smart labels are great. And I love being a dad, and smart labels are helping make that smoother. Patrick, any final thoughts this week for smart labels? All right, go to Amazon and you can just search smart labels, one word. They are beautifully color coded. You'll like it. They're wonderful. Please go support them as they support us for, I guess, reasons. I don't know. They hear these ads every week. I don't know what's happening. All right. Check that off the list. Let's see. Where are we here? Patrick, are you ready to hear? Are you listening to music? What's going on? Am I bothering you?
Yeah.
Do you want to do this another time?
No, I'm good now. I'm good. I just had to. It was,
Are you playing Balatro?
I mean, it's.
Are you playing Balatro during our ad read?
Not during the ad read. The ad read was over.
It was over for
and then
4 seconds.
Well, yeah, that was enough time. And then. Look,
we are working right now.
I'm trying to pull off some special moves with checkered deck to unlock some jokers. It's an investment, really, is what it is. It's an investment.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to say no to checkered deck. The flush scene on checkered deck. Chef kiss. Anyway, do you want to hear a ghost story?
I'd love to. Classic.
Ding. Dong. I still have not labeled the buttons. I don't know. It's real Russian roulette every time I push a button. All right. Well, I want to start off by saying this is not a content warning.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't reach that level exactly. But listeners, if you're listening to this, which you obviously are, because you're hearing it right now, then you have probably seen the title of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just note that the title is pretty. It's what you think. It's what you think.
Ooh, pins and needles.
Yeah. So if that's the sort of thing that gives you the yick, still listen because we need the numbers. But
right,
just like let it play.
Turn the volume way down. They still count if the volume's all the way down. They do.
Yeah. Just let it run. That's all we care about is the time.
So I will once again note I'm the only person on Earth who is listening to this that does not know the title of the episode.
Are you titillated?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cold down here.
Yeah, I see that shirt is not leaving much to the imagination.
And this is 2 shirts, and still,
That's 2 shirts.
This is 2 shirts.
Boy, you are really excited.
Yeah, one of them is gauze, but that's fine.
That's how I bindle. I bindle myself. Anyway, I was listening to the episode that'll drop this Wednesday. Today, just doing the final listen, and it's great. And one of the things I recalled listening to it was that in that episode, I promised to do a Christmas themed ghost this week.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember, but yeah,
it was part of the Smart Labels ad. I will say I also didn't remember. I actually kind of did the opposite. So, in some important ways. So let's just get into it.
Let's ignore commitments and just move on.
Yeah. Why try something new now? On March 11th, 1918, a soldier at Fort Riley in Kansas comes down with influenza.
Oh, okay.
Now, the fort is overcrowded and not particularly sanitary.
Mm-hmm. Right.
1918, after all.
Sure.
Within 1 week, 522 men had been admitted to the camp hospital.
Oh, what year is this again?
Oh, good question. 1918.
1918. Okay, so big flu.
Oh, you've heard of
1918.
this?
I've heard. They mentioned it. They mentioned it in the history books.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In fact, they mentioned it a lot about 4 years ago. They talked about it a whole bunch.
Really? That's interesting.
Isn't it strange?
Let's see if there are any parallels. Speaking of the flu, by the way, one of our friends has a daughter who has been really sick lately, and so we were talking today, and I said, "Well, how's she doing?" And she said, "It's not funny, obviously, but I'm gonna laugh because it's kind of funny." She said, "Well, she's not, she's got 104-degree fever, which is
Bad. Right.
that's a bad fever." But they went to the doctor today, and the doctor told them, like, it's probably not the flu because there has not been a single recorded flu case in Virginia yet this year. Or
Oh.
like this season.
Right. Okay.
And they're like, oh, well, I guess that's good, but like, then, oh God, what else could it be?
Mhm.
So they're doing tests, and they find out that this child does indeed have the flu.
Oh,
So,
hey.
this child is patient 0 for the flu in Virginia this year. And they tested the types of flu to figure out,
Right.
both A and B.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what an honor.
So
to be
for
the first.
So for any Virginia listeners, if you get the flu this winter, you know which vampire to drive the stake through.
I did say, so she's patient 0, and you know what happens to them. And I don't think that was well received.
Well, probably haven't been sleeping a lot.
she'll get it in the morning, and it'll be pretty funny then. Anyway, so within 1 week, 522 men are admitted to the hospital, all from the flu. It's not long before the Army starts reporting similar outbreaks in Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and California.
Ooh.
Not states that are all connected.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
obviously.
There's, I mean, between some of them, there's like a mountain.
Yeah. Big old mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Naval ships starts reporting severe cases of influenza among the crews, and it's pretty bad. But this particular flu did seem to target military personnel at this time only.
Oh, it was a woke mind virus. I get it.
And this is the story of the woke mind virus ghost. It was the woke mind virus. And like the woke mind virus, it did not impact civilians. So people were just like, it sounds bad, but like, I'm okay. There were other more important things to deal with at this time, like prohibition, for example.
Mm-hmm.
There was also the suffragette movement, and World War I was raging.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I don't know which one of those is more important. You can decide for yourself. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's prohibition. So
Give those fighting boys something to come home to.
now women who vote? No, God,
Absolutely
no.
not.
Oh no, we got to squash that. So people are like, we can't focus on this right now. I'm so sorry, but this is for you people.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, 2 months later, the flu starts to subside in the U.S.
Okay.
Now, I probably don't need to remind you, Patrick, but I'll remind our listeners in case they don't know. The first flu vaccine wasn't developed until like the 40s. Is when they really worked on that in earnest. So we're going to gloss over a lot here, but a lot of people died from this flu during this 2 months. But now fewer people are dying, at least in the U.S., and that's pretty good. Americans are feeling pretty good.
Right, because there's fewer people now.
Yeah, so there's
'Cause of
more
all the dead
land.
ones.
You can
Right.
stretch out. Absolutely.
This couch is not feeling so crowded anymore. I am liking this.
My property is now 4 acres bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it.
I don't have to sit next to anyone on the bus.
Also, the bus is not moving because the driver has just died. But it's nice and quiet here. Let's see. Fewer, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Everyone who refused to wear a mask is feeling pretty justified because only like 40% of people who got it died or whatever. Anyway, so things are good now, right? Now, flu is going away. We're in the middle of the war. So the U.S. feels pretty comfortable sending the soldiers of Fort Riley off to battle in France.
Okay.
The problem with the H1N1 virus, though, is that it's not gone.
Right.
It's sort of scooching down a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting all hunkered down and making itself comfortable. And the U.S. puts these soldiers on ships headed to France. And along the way, of course, these boats are cramped. They're stuffy. It's hot. Probably a little humid. The virus is
a little, everyone's getting a little friendly.
maybe.
I mean, it's cold. It's cold. Just trying to stay warm.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
Make our tongues warm. Come on, man. Come on. You know your tongue would be warm or not?
You said you had the flu already.
Lick my tongue. Make my tongue warm. So the virus is loving this whole situation. And once they get to France, the flu absolutely explodes over there. Of course, all these armies are there. They're fighting was it the Huns? World War I, is that what we called them?
The Turks.
Some version of the Germans.
The Ottomans. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
They're fighting the big bad. And absolutely everybody in Europe gets sick. Everyone has a name for it. The Americans call it the 3-day fever or the purple death.
Okay.
And those are two vastly different.
I was going to say, like, one of those is like an emo band, and the other one is definitely a speed metal band. So,
for sure.
Like a very bluesy speed metal band. But yes, yeah.
The French called it purulent bronchitis.
Oh, that's 1,000 times worse.
I didn't know what purulent meant. Did you? That your look on your face makes me think maybe you know what it means.
Yeah. It's.
Should I just read the definition, or do you want to share it?
I want to read your definition of purulent.
It's not my definition. Yeah. The one I found on ChatGPT is consisting of, containing, or discharging pus.
That's a black metal band right there.
That's more black metal for sure. We're escalating. The Italians called it sandfly fever, which I gotta say feels pretty racist.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know in what direction, but I don't like it.
It's a swing band. Gotta be.
Yeah, they're wearing zoot suits up there, for sure. The Germans called it Blitzkatar. No, Blitzkatar. You know German. I'll just put this in the chat. You do it. I've had a hot toddy, so.
Blitzkatar.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Blitzkatar. Yeah, you had it. Yeah.
Blitzkatar or Flanders fever.
That's
tough
not
hit for
translates.
Ned and family.
That's not what that translates to at all.
No, I think those were two different names.
Okay.
What is Blitzkatar?
I mean, Blitz is fast. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Blitz. Qatar.
It's not impossible. I spelled it wrong.
No, you got it right. We're going to edit all this out, don't worry.
Oh, the German word Blitzkrieg, if this helps, translates to lightning war.
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, Qatar translates to inflammation of the mucous membranes in the cavities of the body.
Oh, that's very specific.
Which seems like it will be a longer word. I don't know.
We have like 9 words for that, as you just demonstrated. Well, you know, they are Germans are nothing if not very efficient. Someone's got their own names for it, but of course it doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same thing. And what they find is this flu, it starts with a sore throat, chills, and a fever, which is typical for any kind of version of the flu. But then comes this deadly little twist. This particular flu virus attacks the lungs. Here is a quote that I found. Sometimes within hours, patients succumb to complete respiratory failure. Autopsies showed hard red lungs drenched in fluid.
Oh.
A microscopic look at diseased lung tissue revealed that the alveoli, The lungs, normally air-filled cells, were so full of fluid that victims literally drowned.
Mm.
But I've heard that's a very peaceful way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go,
Patients would often present with mahogany-colored spots over their cheekbones, which I think had something to do with I don't know, oxygenation or
is that what you have, or
something. It might be. Should I go to a doctor?
let him know you have the Blitz Qatar, and you don't think it's gonna be very long now.
Excuse me. Can I talk to someone with a specialization in Blitz Qatar?
Yeah, can I talk to someone specialized in pre-war diseases? The Great War. I'm sorry, the Great War.
Pre the big one.
Yeah,
Pre the big one. Do you have anyone like that here? Let's see. Within hours, those patients would then turn fully bluish black, which this is indicative of cyanosis or lack of oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So soon, field hospitals on the battlefield had to do triage on these patients, and nurses began to look at the feet first for new patients.
Mm.
If your feet were already black, you were considered beyond help, and you were carted off to die.
Feet are black. Send them back.
Ain't coming back. Oh.
Feet are blue. Right on through.
Feet are pink.
2 in the stink.
No. I'm sorry I didn't come up with something faster, because that's not good for anyone.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Now, this is all pretty confusing because even though there's no vaccine yet, like usually the flu is not life-threatening to like healthy, young men.
Right. Yeah.
Like
they love
Army
getting the flu.
age men. They love the flu. That's part of their training, actually. But this flu is not just life-threatening to the elderly and young children and people with compromised immune systems. This one is attacking healthy, strong adults. So a lot of these World War I soldiers are dying from this flu. But the Allied forces decide not to share that information because they don't want the enemy to know just how bad things are.
Okay.
So they censor this out of the reports.
Okay.
All of them do. Except for a little country called España.
Could not help themselves. Such the gossip.
In Spain, they're like, we're just going to report the news, I think. And if you can imagine such a thing happening. And so the Spanish newspapers start reporting the deaths of millions of Spaniards due to this strange new flu. Now, this was a mistake.
I was going to say, this is turning into a bit of a whoever smelt the Delta deal, I'm afraid.
Exactly correct. Because America then did what it does best and decides that this flu must be named after the country who we would like to point fingers at the most, and that it should be called the Spanish flu. When in actuality, it almost certainly originated in America. Like the army bases were the first recorded instances of this virus attacking people. So we're pretty sure it's the American flu, actually. But we call it the Spanish flu. And as you may be aware now, because this has been in the news a lot, or was about 4 years ago, that's a name that sticks. Which cat is off camera?
I know.
Son of a bitch. Was he attracted to all your nipples?
He can sniff them out. He was upstairs. He was upstairs, and he came
said,
down here to see him.
Oh, they're firm. I'm gonna go down. Look at that little baby.
Hi. Meow one time. Meow one time.
Be on a podcast? Hey, pull his tail.
No, I'm not going to pull his tail.
Oh, he'll make. He'll make us. See, just the threat. The threat was the thing. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, listening audience. I would never pull his tail. I just want to be clear because we do have at least one listener.
I know you're like a time zone away.
Very mad about that. I would never pull the cat's tail. And in fact, I spend an inordinate number of hours every day instructing children not to pull my cat's tails. So, just to be clear, everybody. Anyway, so now it's a Spanish flu. So Spain is pissed because now everyone's calling it Spanish flu. So they say, well, actually, just so you all know, world, This is France's fault.
Oh.
So you got to rely on the old scapegoats. They say it's France's fault because our soldiers caught it on their battlefields. Because we were fighting in France, that's why this happened. And the look on your face makes me think you're gonna have even more questions about this next line of defense here, which was they also tried to suggest that the flu, the virus had blown over the Pyrenees Mountains from France on the wind and landed in Spain, and that could be why it just happened to be there.
At no point do they argue against the ridiculousness of pinning it on the only country that actually is admitting what's going on. They're like, yeah, that's never going to go anywhere. We got to find a scapegoat. I'm really sorry, guys. And whoever's the next country over.
Just throw a dart at the board. Italy or France? It's France. That's France. This did not work. Everyone's like, I don't know. We don't like the French either, obviously, but it seems like a real Spain problem. So we're going to keep calling it the Spanish flu.
Also, French flu. It's hard to say. It's harder
French
to say.
French flu.
Exactly.
French flu.
It sounds almost like French fry, and I don't want to get people confused.
Because one is delicious, one is bad. One is bad for you, one is delicious and healthy. So the name sticks, and the flu continues to move very quickly. It spreads as far north as Norway, as far east as China, as far southeast as India, and as far south as New Zealand.
Ooh.
It's really, it's everywhere.
That's everybody. Yeah.
It's basically the whole globe. And then sick people get on ships and they spread it around ports, which means the islands are getting it. So by the summer of 1918, like a few months later, it's already hitting like Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, the Philippines, and Hawaii. A steamship called the Harold Walker was blamed for bringing the virus to Tampico in Mexico. And which meant that from there was a hop, skip, and a jump back up to the U.S. And just 4 months after it first appeared, the Spanish flu had circled the entire globe and returned to the United States.
The reunion tour.
Back, baby! It is the reunion tour. The second and third waves of the Spanish flu hit the U.S. in the winter months and just decimates the population. It got so bad that it completely wiped out some villages in Alaska. Oof. New York buried 33,000 people alone in just a couple weeks. Philadelphia lost 13,000 in just a few weeks. Some cities ran out of coffins and had to start piling bodies into streetcars to keep up. Oof. If you can imagine such a thing.
No, I thank
probably
goodness.
Can't. It's
thank goodness we got that all solved because
and then vaccines came along, and it's like, woof, we don't have to worry about this ever again. We are so lucky. Hey, did you know RFK Jr. is going to be in charge of vaccines now?
We're in one of these 100-year flus every couple of years now. I'm really excited about that.
Months, I think. Anyway, in his book, America's Forgotten Pandemic, the Influenza of 1918, Alfred Crosby wrote, quote, "In some cases, the dead were left in their homes for days. Private undertaking houses were overwhelmed, and some were taking advantage of the situation by hiking prices as much as 600%.
Oh, man.
Complaints were made that cemetery officials were charging $15 burial fees and then making the bereaved dig the graves for the dead themselves."
It's like the worst BYOB restaurant you've ever been to.
BYO shovel? Yeah. Oh man.
Hey, I'm just providing you the land. You have put all the work into it. I'm sorry. I will uncork grandma, and that's all I'm going to do here.
It's a bad time for humanity, but it's a good time for capitalism.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Entrepreneurship is never shown brighter than it is right now. In Chicago, police officers are ordered to arrest anyone who sneezes or coughs in public.
But that works out really well.
I bet it went great.
Mm-hmm.
Bet it went great. All in all, the virus hits 1/5 of the world's total population. And when it's all said and done, about 50 million people are dead.
Ooh.
For some context, in all of World War I, 16 million people died.
So sounds like the flu one.
I think that's what
Yeah.
we would say. Yes, yes. You're so high and mighty there.
Hmm.
I want to say Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who. Let's see who is. You say some stuff. I'm gonna look up some stuff. Make some jokes.
Yeah, and who, I don't know who the rest of the leaders were. Some sort of uh, you know, Franz Ferdinand or something like that. Did you get it right? Woodrow Wilson?
I got it right.
Wow.
It's Woodrow Wilson. Oh my God. I am a savant, I think, of history.
I think you're right. Of presidents. Well, you've been studying history for like 150 episodes of this show, so
this is the this is the by hands down the best history education I've ever gotten in my life in the American school system is prepping for this comedy podcast
on my phone 2 hours a week.
And once again, this week I did take the notes this morning, so pretty pleased with myself. Wow, Woodrow Wilson. Who knew? I mean, I did, I guess.
Except for you. Yeah.
What fun. Anyway, so lots of people are dead. Now, kids had a lot of fun with this pandemic. They started a new jump rope chant about the pandemic. It catches fire. It spreads like the virus, I guess. Yeah. And it goes like this. I had a little bird, and its name was Enza. I opened the window, and in flew Enza. So that's fun.
I like this.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is the gallows humor that I would teach my children if they.
It's hard to keep the rhythm between all the coughs, but it's, for the most part.
Yeah. When they pass out halfway through, it's like, oh man, I'll never know how it goes.
Maybe that was the game. You have to like sing the whole song without dying. And then, I won. Who else can do it? Oh, where'd everybody go?
Oh, my 3 friends are dead. I win. Anyway, speaking of children, one of the many towns that got hit was Huntsville, Alabama. Now, the first reported case in Huntsville was on September 25th of 1918. Now, 10 days later, October 5th, it was everywhere. The Birmingham News wrote, quote, reported cases of Spanish influenza have increased to more than 1,100 in Huntsville. There have been an additional 300 cases and 7 deaths in the past 24 hours. By October 13th, 3 weeks after the first reported case, the paper reported that only 1 local pharmacist and 1 local doctor remained uninfected. Every other medical professional is sick or dead, which is not what you want in your medical professionals.
Well, you said pharmacist and doctor were the only two that, So you got to figure they're both like super sick at this point, except they're both probably on so many amphetamines just to continue seeing people.
To get out of Huntsville.
At this point, I might just fly out of Huntsville.
And so the cemeteries in Huntsville become pretty popular. This included, of course, the oldest and largest cemetery in town, which is called the Maple Hill Cemetery. This was founded in 1822 on 2 acres of land, but it has grown steadily over the decades. It now encompasses nearly 100 acres.
I'll say 2 acres is nothing.
No, 100 acres, though, that's a graveyard. And it grows so quickly because people are dying to get in. I'll take that again. You can do a better. Yeah,
just
you were
hit a button when you do it. Just hit a button.
Yeah.
You don't need me. You don't need me. I'm going to mute.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's good. Actually, good note. Good note for me. Okay, I'm ready. Now it's 100 acres because people are just dying to get in.
The wrong button.
No, that's the right one. I think feels right to me. I don't know which one would you have chosen?
The moaning one. Not even that one.
No. Oh no, not even sad trombone. Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Probably not, right? All right, you're probably going for. Let's see. Here's what you're looking for.
Better. It's closer. It's warmer.
I don't know where the moan is. I didn't label that one. Anyway, so it does grow quite a lot. Now it contains over 80,000 bodies. There's a lot of bodies. There are lots of neat people buried there, including 5 governors of Alabama,
Oh, wow.
5 U.S. senators,
Hmm.
and quite a few unknown Civil War soldiers, both for the South and the North. I looked at the names, by the way. There's a list of the names.
80,000 names, yeah.
No. No, I looked at the list of the governors and senators and like U.S. representatives and stuff.
Yeah.
Not a single notable one on the whole list.
How many were named Bobby something?
We can look. Would you want to look?
No, it's okay. I don't want to be.
That'll be some bonus content on Ghost Plus. We'll go through and make fun of all the names. Anyway, so they're all there, and also who's buried in here? A lot of folks who died in the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. Even though this flu virus did indeed hit adults hard, that doesn't mean it didn't hit children hard. In Huntsville, almost all the children who died of Spanish flu were buried in Maple Hill. There's a lot of little kid graves there, several hundred. Now, you have something to say?
No, just awful, just horrible.
Yeah. Now, I will say this: their parents have never experienced so much quiet.
Unless they're also buried in the graveyard, at which point they're like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me."
Oh man, well, you know what? I'm not going to say anything else on this line of jokes because Erin does listen to this podcast.
But she's not a Ghost Plus subscriber, so maybe we'll hop over to the other.
Okay, can we ship? No, actually, she is. Shoot, I gave her a free one. Okay. Remind me. Do me.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, remind me to revoke Erin's privileges to Ghost Plus tomorrow. All right, we got a plan. All right. So dead children, am I right? Hilarious. No?
I'm gonna let you go on that one.
Okay, great. This has been really fun. So let's see where are we here? Oh, okay. So kids are buried there, obviously. Now there's a corner of the cemetery. Now that didn't used to be part of the cemetery during 1918. It was not part of it, but it has since. The cemetery has since expanded to include this corner. Now, this is a small plot of land that is bordered on 3 sides by sheer limestone cliffs.
Okay.
And what you want normally in like a cool plot of land is like no daylight. It's like
right, yeah,
cliffs on 3 of 4 sides. It used to be part of a small quarry. In the 1940s, in Huntsville, there was a local scare when children began to go missing. Now, the police believe they were dealing with a serial killer who was targeting children because none of the children who disappeared ever came back. But they couldn't prove it. No arrests were ever made. They had very few leads. But the investigation did turn up at one point a child's skull in this quarry near the graveyard.
Ugh.
So they decided they should probably dig down a bit further. And they did. They found more skeletal remains of children. And also a few fresher bodies of children. So this is confirming their beliefs. They think that there is a serial killer targeting children, but it stops abruptly. And they never even have a suspect. So that happens there, probably. Over time, like I said, the cemetery expanded to include this little plot of land. So now the cemetery that contains, just as a reminder, hundreds of children who died from the Spanish flu and also contains a mass murder site of children. That's all part of the cemetery now. And to honor all that, someone decided it would be a pretty good idea to put a playground in there. Here's a photo.
I don't know. Oh,
there you go.
I mean, it's pretty run of the mill, but it's like, from what I can see, like I see the 3 rocky cliffs, like right around the playground. So the playground is literally on top of the mass grave site?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
This-
also in the graveyard.
Right. Okay. And
It's a twofer.
did they move the bodies, or did they just put the wood chips right on top?
I assume that the bodies they excavated probably were removed.
Okay. Right.
I don't know.
But
I
did
don't
they?
know if they like got all the bodies.
That's my question. Yeah. Like you can never really be sure. So
Well,
okay.
let's see if our story has any hints that might lead us in one direction or the other. So this playground is officially called Maple Hill Park,
Mhm.
but the locals know it by another name, the Dead Children's Playground,
Oh.
which is the title of this episode.
Oh, that makes sense about the content warning. All right. Well, I finally get to learn what everybody else already knew.
That's right. The ghosts of Maple Hill, we could Doc Brown that too, probably. The ghosts of the Maple Hill children haunt the playground, unsurprisingly. Sometimes the swings on the swing set will start going at full speed all by themselves.
Oh.
And then patches of dirt will kick up, or sand, I guess, probably looks like sand, as if someone has just jumped from the swing.
Oh, wow. So these kids are unsafe even in death.
Well, I mean, what do you got to lose now?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What happens to a little ghost if it breaks its arm? Oh no,
Oh, yeah. That's going to be like that forever, I think.
forever. Do you think a doctor ghost could set a broken arm for a ghost?
Oof. I bet there's a whole like ghost economy in these graveyards. Like a whole
Probably.
ghost
There's
culture.
gotta be, right? Or else, like, how do you have like kids happy enough to just be like playing on swings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a Groundhog Day thing. Like they break their arm, and then like the next day it resets, and they're right back to their
Oh,
old
it could
self.
be that. That's nice. That's kind of a nice thought.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
I mean,
if not. They
not
break
for
their
them.
arm every single day.
Yeah.
No, so okay, I take that back. Huh. A little tough. A little tough. Anyway, let's see what happens to these ghosts. Let's see. The laughter of children is also often heard when there are no children in sight. Photos have caught ghostly orbs and mists, of course. Some people have even reported seeing full-on ghost children playing on the playground at night. You can see through them. They are swinging on the swings. They are running up the, I don't know, steps of the stuff. It's
Right.
so.
These are people that chose to visit a secluded graveyard at night, right? The people that
Well,
saw
yes,
this.
because as we'll say later, I'll
Kind
just say this now.
of self-selecting population here. Just saying.
real sexy freaks. All this action does tend to happen between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. So it's a lot of kids going to make out, I assume, and also a lot of like bros who have Travel Channel shows.
EMP devices,
Yeah.
EVP.
So let's see what else. Sometimes the voices of mothers are heard calling to their children. And every once in a while, someone will report seeing the ghostly figure of a man staring down at the playground from the cliffs above, just before he evaporates into mist and disappears. So we don't like that.
No.
In 2007, the city of Huntsville decided to tear down the playground,
Oh, okay.
which to me feels like a solid idea.
Yeah.
But people got so mad. They got very angry. There were protests. There were people showing up at city council meetings to say, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
And so the city rebuilt the playground, which is what
Okay.
you saw here. It's got all new equipment as of 2007. And I assume both living and dead children are so happy to have this cemetery playground on a murder site back. And I don't know, maybe we should invest more in education in Alabama. is one potential takeaway.
It sounds like a movie that Pixar would make as they get a little bit edgier as the years go on. You know,
You think so?
I do. I really do. Like a mixture of soul and Coco. Like this could work. This could work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coco was gorgeous when they're walking across the bridge and like the
With the
marigolds.
marigolds.
Oh man, absolutely gorgeous. Now you've named two Pixar movies that are my children's least favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Your children not like death as much as you do, I guess.
It is weird, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's-
I thought maybe when they're 5, we'll talk about that a little more. But you know what they do like? Encanto. Can we talk about Encanto? So the next 20 minutes will be us talking about Encanto and how good it is. So good. No, they're still in Frozen. They're still in the Frozen kick.
mm,
It's Frozen dresses. It's Elsa everything. It's, Ivy will put on her Tiana dress and she will say, "Shh, I froze you." And I say, that's canonically just so
Yeah.
backward. Like
Like
it's
number one, I'm wiping your butt. So like, do you want me to
so
stop?
please,
Yeah.
please, I cannot freeze right now because it's so important to your hygiene that I don't freeze. Also, Tiana lives in the bayou. Elsa lives in Norway. Like, this is not it's so frustrating because kids don't understand geography. What were we talking about?
Coco.
I love Coco.
It's
Love
good.
Coco. Some good music in that show, and
Some of the best.
I love it. I love it. Now, I do think it's weird the movie is called Coco
hmm
because the character Coco is in like 2.5% of the movie.
Right. Sure.
Now, she does play an important role
hmm
eventually, but I would workshop it. No?
I'm happy with it.
No thoughts? Okay. All right. What I'm getting from here is Amy loves Coco, and when she listens to this, she does not want to hear you say anything bad about Coco.
She has turned this episode off a long time ago, by the way. She didn't get this far.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share about the Dead Children's Playground?
No, I think you kind of handled everything. I'm very impressed. Very tasteful.
Cool. Yeah,
Very
good,
tasteful.
good. I
Yeah.
think so. I think so. Yeah, let's remind people of that later, maybe, namely Aaron. Let's remind her how tasteful this was, because I'll tell you this, could have been a lot less tasteful. Sure could have been. Well, then this has been another episode of Is This a Ghost? We are a Smith Show production. All the notes this week were taken by me, Clayton Smith. All the funny jokes were from Patrick Dean. Our audio editor is Jeremy Montoya. Our video editor is Jen Swanson, and they are conspiring against us to make a whole new thing for Ghost Plus. Our social media managers are Kai Valonis and Sam Murdoch. And I would say that if I am you, I don't know, wear a fucking mask. You know what? Get a vaccine and wear a mask, because if you don't, you're going to be the subject of next week's episode of Is This a Ghost? And we will not feel bad about that one bit. Wear a mask, get a vaccine. Just here we go. Here we go, everybody. Here we go.